Welcome everyone to Your Little Castle Show. I swear I have the coolest job in the world because I get to meet the coolest people in the world. And so, welcome everyone. Lane Home Improvements. Herman Lane here. Herman is a guru. We're going to talk about this, but you've been doing this for a while.
I've been doing it for a little while.
And built up a great reputation. He's a legendary builder, construction expert, kitchens, baths, and everything else. Basements, decks.
Anything with your home.
Okay. And we're going to talk about that. Quick shout out we're going to give out here to our, we love the sponsorships that we get from our wonderful partners here, Carroll House Furniture, because you like nice things. Where do you like nice things? Well, we like those little things. Maybe in the castle that Herman here has helped build for you and update and make beautiful for you. So with that, we're going to get started. I'm going to throw up. You've got a great looking. Talk about a place for lots of information. You have a website, a Facebook page. Got dynamite pictures and reviews and everything you would ever want to know about Mr. Herman Lane here, and it's just great information there. So with that, we're going to put up on the wall. I've got. There we go. I've got a little montage we did here. So there it is. Lane, now that looks pretty big on the screen, doesn't it? We'll shrink it down a little bit so you can see more of the work that he's done here. We're going to go through some of these pictures and share a little bit of the work you've done. So, Herman, welcome to Your Little Castle Show.
Thank you for having me.
No, we like I said, Dawn just randomly kind of just goes out and does her research and finds cool, inspirational, high quality people that can share with us some of the secrets, some of their trade secrets that they learn how to produce and make a successful business and be happy on this little planet. And when I saw you, I was like, I know that guy. He's known around here. And so that was kind of, what got you into this? Why did you decide this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I really didn't decide. It kind of fell into my lap. I used to be a electronic technician for the towboats on the river.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in the Coast Guard, got my marine electronics through there, so I'm a veteran. And when I got out, moved up from Memphis to here, the company I was working for, we got bought out a couple times and we kind of went under. So I started working, helping this guy build up trailers, remodeling trailers. And a friend of his saw it, and he was rehabbing a house in Kirkwood.
Okay.
And so he asked me if I wanted to work for him, so I did. And people were coming. This house was it was actually condemned by the city of Kirkwood, and we fixed it up really nice. And people were walking by and they wanted to come look, and they say, "You did this?" And they go, "Yeah." So one thing led to another. Well, come over, look at my house, and one thing led to another, and I found out I really enjoy doing this. I have a passion for it. And I always said, I wish I'd done this 30 years ago.
Well, as you look at some of the work you've got, I mean, pretty magical stuff you've done, and that's what we kind of want to show off and give that background a little bit to people to understand. This isn't something necessarily everybody, they did this for, since they were 4 years old. Sometimes they switch careers and somebody gives them a little opportunity to try something different. And so here you are, and it's just awesome work. We're going to show a lot more what the work that you have done out there on the screen for everybody to see. You kind of talked about what led you. How has this business, over the years, how has it evolved for you from where you started and then where you're at now?
Well, it really evolved as, like I said, go back to what you said, not everybody does this, their life and learn it, and everybody said, how did I learn this? Most of it's all self-taught. Like I said, if you have a passion for it, if you don't know how to do it, you learn it, you just simple process of putting things together and figuring out. And if you take your time and you do it right and you really like it, and things just happen. So I just love what I do. And so how everything is, just the technology of materials and stuff, and nowadays, and how things come in play, what people like, what's in, what's out. So you got to know all that. You just learn from other people and get ideas, and so it just happens.
Well, with that, what is it? What about this? What is your passion? How did this passion develop in you? Is it kind of just sprung upon you, and then you said, "Hey, man, I really enjoy doing this"?
Yeah. When I started doing it, like I said, I rehabbed the house, and when it turned out, and you're looking at it like, wow, did I just really do that? It looks so cool. I like making things go from old to new, and that's where the passion comes. And I like to help people, like whatever I can, help them save money. I am a small business. I do pretty much everything all by myself. So I'm not like the big companies, so I don't charge a lot, but I still, charge enough to make a living. So and that's where my passion is. My passion is making things look old to new, improve it.
Well, yeah, again, back into what is it that drives somebody to do what they do every day, and why do they wake up to do these kinds of things? Because I enjoy making people look cool and showing off the great work that they've done. You're helping people to really develop and live in a house that they can be proud of. I mean, most people, this is the most valuable asset they've ever invested in, obviously, and they want to be able to show off all their hard work, and it transfers into what they get to see here on the, for their work that they've developed. But you're helping to showcase it for them and build it for them so they can have their dream home, their little castle.
Yeah. And it's funny, a lot of people, they start fixing up when they want to sell their house, and then when we get done with it, they go, oh, we should have done this a long time ago, so they can enjoy it before they sell it. So, but I do have a lot of customers that clients that, they hear from their friends and family, and they hire me to fix up their house and make it look nice. It's so outdated, just like it's like that one kitchen in the background there, that was so 70s, and look how modern it looks now. That it didn't have all those cabinets before.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna show off all the work here. I made a slide montage for Herman here because he's got so much great looking work. But it's pretty obvious that this is something that you have developed a true passion for, something that just obviously comes out every day. This is like they say that it's not work if you're doing what you love, right?
Right.
So you haven't worked a day in your life if you're doing what you love. Is that true?
That is very true. Like any company, they always try to keep good morale. A lot of people don't have morale because they don't like what they're doing. I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And the best part too, I meet so many people.
Okay.
And I make a lot of friends. It's not just work for me. It's, it's almost like I go to their house, and I take their house like if it's mine. And we all become friends, and we have a good time. The pets love me. I don't know why, but they love me.
Yeah, you got some cool Facebook pictures of I thought that might have been your dog. We'll show that to everybody a little bit. I can put that on the wall here for everybody if it comes up. You can see this is Herman's Facebook page, and we've got the reviews on there. We're going to get into that in just a second. We're going to go back to your main Facebook page, and I want to show everybody as we go here. There we go. As you can see here, there's a cute. There you got
my new truck.
Your truck. But there's a dog. Talk to everybody. What's going on here with the dog?
That's Millhouse. Millhouse is pretty famous. If and people here in St. Louis, if you listen to KC 95, AD on the morning show,
right?
That's his dog.
Oh wow, okay.
Everybody thinks it's my dog, but it's not my dog, But he loves me, He's like my dog. And I was working on AD's house, and I pretty much did the whole first floor, kitchen, bathroom, and painted all the rooms. And we opened it up. I wish I had pictures, but I didn't post those yet. But Millhouse, his wife. Millhouse can hear me coming, and he gets so excited when he sees me. So one morning, his wife Amy took a 8-second video of him meeting me at the door. It was so cool. And so I posted it on my page. AD, he's a radio personality. He has 25,000 followers. He shared it, and he had so many reviews and likes that Facebook picked it up, and it went viral.
Right,
around the world.
That's incredible. And so how many views overall did this thing end up getting?
Over 2 million.
Over 2 million views.
And I had tens of thousands of comments and likes, and so it was pretty cool. I never had that happen before.
Well, yeah, now you're Facebook famous, and you've done something that's going viral. That's something we all should try. Everybody's trying to figure out how to do that. But just a picture of a dog, and a lot of people might have thought it was your dog. It was your client's dog.
Yeah,
so.
Everybody they posted on it is it's not my dog, but he is the coolest dog, and he's kind of famous too because of AD. He likes to say radio personality, and he talks about him, and everybody loves Millhouse, you know. So, and I kind of made him even more famous too. All my friends and stuff, they love Millhouse.
Well, very cool. Let's share a little bit as we put up on the back wall over here. I'm going to go to the wide shot, but over on the far wall, we'll share that with everybody to take a look at here. But take a look here. I want to talk about reviews. So let's talk about Katie. Herman built us a beautiful new deck. He's also used our remodel our bathroom and kitchen. We're so happy with all of his work. Well, tell me, Herman, how's that make you feel to have somebody that's so happy with the work that you've done and they're writing great things about you? You've got a ton of other people doing that same thing there.
It makes my heart glow because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help people to make their homes look nice, and when they really appreciate my work, then that makes me happy. So, I mean, I ain't the one to toot my own horn or anything. I use, like I said, we talked about it before, passion. And the one thing I like about is, I call it the wow factor. It's when you get done and everybody goes, wow, then I know I did a good job.
Well, that's what we're talking about here. And that's what we're really looking for people, because I figured out that after I started getting a little attention by doing my little Cardinal Cowboy thing, I had a passion for sharing people my story and how I overcame a lot and a coma and et cetera. But there's a lot of people who have great stories out there, and just about everybody has gone through something. And for the people who haven't had an opportunity to really go to that next level in life, watch our guest here. Herman's sharing with you a little bit of his background so he can tell you what it is he's actually gone through and how he's managed this and how he's done it for so long now. And while he's also famous here in St. Louis. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but really cool that you get to go out and do this and share your passion with other people and make them happy.
Yes, I really enjoy it. And like I said, I get to meet people and I like helping people. I'll try to save you money as much as you can. I know big companies don't want to hear that, but I'm a small guy. I always tell people, and I had people tell me, you should charge more. I said, no, of course things went up after COVID and, everything. So prices do go up, but I still keep it reasonable. I keep it reasonable, and you get quality work for the good price. So, and the best thing is when I can help someone out, like I did this one bathroom for a guy in a wheelchair. He had MS, and he couldn't get out of the wheelchair. To fix that up, that just, made me really feel good, and they loved the bathroom, how it turned out. I designed it pretty much, there was only so much room, but I designed it with the tile and this and that, and they went with it and they loved it. And so, and he can take a shower,
yeah,
in a wheelchair, go up in there.
Yeah, it's just some of the things you get to help people with, the basic things in life, but to be able to take a shower. We're going to show some pictures of that. We've got pictures.
In fact, that picture right there is the shower.
Okay, it's the one over here behind me.
Yeah.
And if I can put up that on the wall. Here's it's the bottom, if you're looking at the screen, the bottom
it's right behind you.
Yeah, bottom right over there on the screen that you've got there. But yeah, I mean, that's what we all live for. I mean, nobody's giving you a $10 million paycheck for that, but it makes you feel great about it too.
It makes you feel good. That's what we should do. You should do for others. If it makes you feel good, make them feel good, you feel good. So that's what it's all about. At least that's what it is for me.
Well, and that's the way we had this discussion on the Cowboy and Judge show back in the day, but the judge brought this up, and I'd heard this not too often, but it is true, and it is. So I'll put the hat on for that one, everybody, if you understand why we start talking about community-based stuff. But
Cardinal Cowboy.
But yeah, isn't it great that when you do something good to help somebody, you feel great about it? Wouldn't it be horrible if it was the opposite, that you felt great about taking advantage of somebody and doing something to deceive or tear somebody down? And just God didn't make it that way, so we're just lucky that it works out that the more you do. Hey, everybody, if you're down and out, go help somebody, and you'll feel better. It'll turn your life around.
Exactly. That's what the world needs more of. Love and peace. Love and peace.
You got it. Well, that's great stuff, man. And that's what we're really trying to bring out here. With that in mind, what would you say, is there one thing that really separates you from everybody? Something that kind of puts a highlight on you, something you're better at, something you bring to the table that really sets you apart?
Yeah, I would say, and there's a lot of big companies out there. They have a lot of people that come work for you. What sets me apart from everyone else, this is what you get. You hire me, you get me from the beginning to the end. And like I said, I have a passion for it, and I'm very meticulous. I take my time. The old saying, measure twice, cut once.
Right.
So that's what I do. I make sure I get it done right. If it's not right, you don't like it, I'll take it out and start over to make it to your liking. So
to make it look right.
Right.
Well, that's what kind of we talked about. A lot of people wonder how this. I'm sharing a little secret here. This show I figured out as a techie nerd. Mom and Dad both made me go to computer classes when I was a kid in case the baseball career didn't work out. And I just happened to get into it and develop an affinity and got pretty good at the computer stuff. Ran the email systems for Anheuser-Busch, but built a Microsoft Exchange server in my house. Kind of those same type of strategies. Go in there, dig in, become the best at it, and then now the show is kind of self-produced with all the technology we've got. You do most of your work for your clients all by yourself. If not all of it. Is that true?
It is true. I pretty much I'm by myself. If you need a job. My son used to work with me a long time ago till he moved to Knoxville. He's a painter now.
Okay.
So and he recently moved back to St. Louis, but I'm still doing everything by myself, which I'm used to. When I was, like I said, worked on the river, you used to working by yourself. So, but jobs might take a little bit because I'm by myself, but you at the end it's worth the wait. It's worth the wait.
Well, it's not like you're waiting 6 months longer. It'll be a couple of weeks maybe.
Yeah.
But just because you've got so much articulate, specific attention to the detail is necessary there. And it's not like, let me talk to Joe. You said you need this change. We got to ask Mike, and Mike's got to get approved through the corporate office. And then we're going to come back over here, and then we'll see what it looks like. But we might have to move things around. We got to get new materials. None of that you have to deal with. You're the decision maker. You're going to make sure it all works, and you're doing all the work.
I do I'll talk to the client. We discuss, how do you want the look? What color do you like? Certain things I'll pick out, and certain things I tell, what do you want? If we're doing a bathroom vanity, or this, that, and I'll tell you, there's a process if you want to get into that. People, when they call me up, and I go give them a free estimate, and I'll look at it, and I ask them, what are you looking for? And we talk about it, and I can tell you what will work, what won't work, and what you should do, what you should not do, and whatever you like, and I'll make it work. So, and it usually works out that way. And then give them the process, what we're doing first, doing the demo, and then putting things back together, and they're usually good with it. So,
cool. That was a little teaser for the process. That is one of the things I've got on my list here. So Herman will give us the whole process, but kind of a glimpse there. We call that a teaser, right? So with that, but stay tuned for the second show, because there's 2.5 hours we're doing with Herman here, because he's got so much information. That second half of the show, we're going to talk. So stay tuned for that one. Lots of great content. And he's going to go into the depth of the process for everything that he goes through when you sign up to say, hey, I want Herman to do my kitchen, my bath, my basement, my deck, all of what you have that you offer for everybody, and what really sets you apart. Well, with that, we've got about 8 minutes left here in this first half hour. So let's spend a couple minutes here talking about it. What is one mistake that very often you see consumers make when they're about to spend $20, $30, $50, $100,000 on a big upgrade? What's the biggest mistake consumers make?
The biggest mistake, take note, get references.
Take note, everybody. I'm going to let Herman, the first time we've let because you brought it up, take note.
Take note.
Write that down. Get some references.
I hear this all the time, and it's so sad, and you hear it on the news all the time. Small guys like us contractors, we have a bad rep for people coming, taking money up front, and then never showing up. If you don't know somebody, if you never heard from them, get references. That's the biggest mistake. And the other mistake is giving money up front. Now, if you're a big company, a legit company, I get that, and there's sometimes the bigger jobs, they want money up front for materials or whatnot. But ask somebody, talk to somebody. If this guy worked for someone else before, get references. And another mistake is, if people are in this kind of business, we're busy. We don't go knocking on doors.
Right.
We don't go knocking on doors. Somebody knock on your door, that's a red flag. Say, we can do this for you and this and that and get started. It's a red flag. So, but your biggest thing, I always start off and say, you want reference? I got plenty of references. So get references, find out about that person, do a little research, a little background, find out about them, see what they cannot do, and see if they're good at it.
Yeah, that's why we say, if you look at those reviews again that Herman has, tons of people have spoken very well about him, and all 5 stars across, 100% recommendation that he's gained from his guests or from his clients. And it really just shows the history and the background and all of what you put together. High quality, good stuff. And then if they've got a question, they got a problem, there's one person to talk to. That's you.
That's right. Yeah. I always tell my clients too, when when we do, even I have a list. I'm busy. So, and I said, if you have questions, call or text anytime. I don't care. You know, before I even start on their job, before they're looking for stuff, I have people call me and ask me, hey, we found this. Will this work? And I'm like, yeah, or no, or, you know, what you should do. So I don't mind helping out.
Tell me then along those lines, and I'm throwing a little impromptu sometimes. What are the typical changes, or somebody when they've seen your work, or you're in the middle of a project? What are typically the changes that people do want to make, and how do you respond to that? I mean, what do you do to make them happy?
Some of the changes usually is color, you know,
Okay.
of tile or paint or whatever, which no big deal. But before they get to the tiling, once we start, we ain't pulling off the wall if you really don't want to. But if you want to, I will do it. It's no big deal. I want to make the client happy. So usually we, in fact, I had give you an example. Earlier, at the beginning of this year, I was doing a big bathroom in Ladue. And the husband and wife, they weren't on the same page. She wanted one color, he wanted another color. She wanted this tile, and he wanted this tile. And they kept changing. And it was a good thing before we got to that point. So I took them, let's go. We went to, I don't know if I can say any names or companies or like that, but we went to a place to look at tile. And I said, all right, guys, this is what we're going to pick out. Show them what would look good, because we already had the design and a certain color could go with the floor and the walls. And this was the tile for the shower, and we did tile on the wall. And so they both compromised, and we got it worked out.
Well, that's what you get when you get that kind of close reference to the guy who's doing all the work. You say, hey, we're going to have a little team meeting here. We're going to go to the location where we can make this determination right now. I'm not giving you to an assistant, and we're not going to send this up the line to somebody else who's got to check inventory. You're going to make that decision right there. So while they were standing there, you looked at what they had, and then the two decision makers with you made that call right there. So now there's no room for error, right?
Right.
This is for sure what they're going to get.
Yeah, and then it turned out really nice, and they were very impressed. So, and again, I was too when I got done with it. Like, did I just do that?
Well, that's part of the essence. We love working with smaller businesses, and that's who we highlight, because how often is it the case that when you're dealing with, and nothing against the big guys, it's just the nature of the beast, kind of, that when you're a big company, you got to get something done. You got to go through a whole list of checks to go through and get this person's approval, get it up to the vice president, and get their sign off and look at the ROI. There's just a lot longer process. But when you're a self-proprietor like you are, you really get a lot more hands-on, and you can make those decisions quick and easy, so that maybe it'll take less time to get these things done because you're not waiting on a big corporate decision. Correct. How often do you feel like you've had the advantage over big guys that do that all the time?
Well, I think I have the biggest advantage. Some people, you hire a big company, like you said, you got all these people to go through. Companies will have a representative come out, they'll give you the estimate, they'll talk to you and this and that. When he leaves, you don't see him no more. Then they send someone else out, and you're like, who are they? And then they're doing this and they're doing that, and then like, wait a minute, that's not what I want done. Well, guess what? Now you got to call them. I'm there if you got a question, and I don't mind people ask me all the time, why are you doing this, or how are you doing that, and why are you doing that? Because they see my process of making things. They're just curious, which is fine. Yeah. And I explain to them, and if they want, well, we got an idea, I'm there. They don't have to call. We don't have to wait. The process still keeps going on, and we talk about it right then and there. And there's a lot of times when older houses, you never know what you're going to find when you tear out a wall. And like, who did this? It's not by code. So now we got to change things. I'm there. It's not like, got to call the boss, got to call the office, then that takes longer. I'm there. I explain to the clients, this is what we got to do. We got to do it right. And it's going to cost a little extra. They're okay with it. We're good. Process never stops.
That's a great point you make there, because how often is it the case that, and it's just the nature of the beast again, the big company, they've trained a guy, and they said, this is the process. This is how you do it. And then if you ask that a guy who was trained, why do you do it this way? Well, he's not going to know that because he wasn't the one to develop the process. Right. He was just the guy who was taught this is how you do it. But in your case, so you can say, why are you doing that? How are you doing? You go, well, I do that because of this, and this ends up here. And if you don't do it that way, then sometimes you get into a problem where this will come up, and you can answer those questions. Because that can lead to other things. They say, oh, well, if that's something we got to consider, then maybe we should make this change, or maybe we want to move this over here. But how often is that the case? Where then, quick and on the fly, you're making those decisions to help them?
Usually a lot. You know, like I said, older houses especially. You know, when you're tearing out walls and stuff, and then a lot of things back in the day, there was code. Codes changed so much over the past 20 years, and they're still changing. And then every time you run into something, like the big bathroom I tell you in Ladue, we tore out the walls and found out their sinks weren't vented. So so we had to change the drainage and the stacks. We had to put a vent in. You know, everything I do is by code. And I'm not like, if I need a plumber or electrician, I got friends that when we have to have a permit or something, they'll come in and do this for me, you know, because they're certified. So, and, you know, so we do everything right. You know, I'm going to do it right. There's no shortcuts.
There's no shortcuts, and you want to make sure that everything is following that process. Because, how often is something an issue where there's code, and if you don't follow the code, and they try to sell this house later on, they're going to have some big hurdles to go through. Then be tearing things out and redoing things, and then they were going to make $50,000 profit. Now they're going to make $20,000 profit because they're having to redo something just because they did cutting corners. We talk about that to cut corners, to save time, to do things cheaply. Can be very expensive.
Yeah, exactly. And go back to the process of people you don't know, get references, because a lot of people that come, they're just looking for that buck, get to the next job. I don't do that. I take my time. I want to get it done right, you know, and I want to please my client.
That's the bottom line. That's very important. Well, as we finish up this segment here, we've just got about another minute left here. Tell me, and you mentioned this earlier, but if you want to expound upon this, tell me a time when you really helped a client, somebody you knew had a tough situation. If you want to, and we can share a little bit of the pictures here. I'll work on getting that picture up of that.
All my clients, I love helping, because even if I'm just saving them money or making their house look nicer, but the one big thing, like talk about the guy in the wheelchair, the bathroom right there, that was something I really took pride in and helping him out. And like I said, I'm a veteran, and I like to work with veterans, and I help veterans. I've done this is a different bathroom, you know, so it's a.
Yeah, I'm looking. I know I pulled a slide. Well, is it this?
That one right there.
The one on the bottom right.
Yeah, that one there.
But this is a bathroom. Look, you got those rails.
I tear everything out and build them from the ground up. I pour my own concrete, and so we can tile it, put the old curb, and go from there. So when you get a bathroom, a shower, you're getting one. I always tell people, say, I'll help you save money. It might look, you know, the materials might not be that expensive, but we'll make it look like it's rich. And people say, wow, you spend a lot of money on that. Just say yes.
Even if they didn't, it's a little secret. All right, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this first show here, because a lot of secrets and just some great trade expertise that Herman brings to the table here. So we want to give him a little more time. We're going to talk with him for another half hour here. Stay tuned for the second half hour. It'll be airing the following night. The first show is on Thursday night, and then Friday night, and then often we do Saturday night too. We might even have Herman on our Saturday night show too, because he's got so much great information he's sharing with everybody. Stay tuned for more, everybody. Giddy up.